I want to talk with Clara Santucci. Clara Santucci is from Doddridge County. She's a graduate of WVU, and there's some people who know exactly who she is because they follow running, and everybody else is going, wait a minute, who is she? She's a West Virginian. She is on the verge of qualifying for the 2016 Olympics in the marathon. She's qualified to participate in the qualifications, which come up in February in Los Angeles. And so she's got a great story. She joins us in studio. Clara, good morning. Good to talk to you. How are you?
Good morning.
Did you get your run in this morning? That's the first thing we got to know.
I did. I always get my run in the morning.
Yeah, what time did you go out?
This was a little later. I went out about 9:30.
And you did 6 miles. People, well, that's no big deal. I can do 6 miles, but it's your afternoon run that's your big one, right?
Yeah, I'll go for 13 miles later on.
And do you just run around Morgantown or on the trail? What do you run?
Yeah, I run Morgantown streets and on the rail trail. I try to mix it up and get in some hills so that the hills always make you stronger. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I like the West Virginia hills around here. So
I want to talk about your background. I want to talk about qualification because you have qualified to participate in the qualification for the Olympic marathon, right?
Correct.
Okay. So when's the qualification?
The qualification is the Olympic Trials Marathon, February 13th in Los Angeles. So there they qualify about 200 women, run under 2:45, and you get to go to the trials. And from there, they take the top 3 women in that race to go to the Olympics.
And it's just one and done, right?
Yeah, one and done. So you really have to be ready on that day.
Now, your best time is
2:29:54 is my best time.
Okay, so just under 2:30. And what do you think it's going to take to qualify?
I think American marathoning for women is really growing and developing, which is great. So I think I'm going to be in one of the strongest fields there's ever been in. And I think it's going to take about a 2:27.
Wow.
Actually. Yeah. We'll see. It could be hot. The conditions really play a factor in that. So on the day, I think there's going to be a lot of women ready to run that kind of time, so I'm going to be prepared as well.
What do you think your chances are? I mean, I know that you're optimistic. I know you're very driven, but realistically, what are your chances of qualifying for the Olympics?
Yeah, if you would talk to me or my coach, we'd say I'm probably in the back seat looking for a way in. But I think I've definitely got a chance. It's there. I'm looking for maybe some people to fall apart, and the marathon is such a grueling event that can happen easily, even in the last couple miles. So there's really there's hope all the way to the finish line. So my chances are there. They're not slim. I'm the underdog right now. So
Clara Santucci is with us, Doddridge County, from Doddridge County, West Virginia, and she will be in the Olympic qualifying race in February in Los Angeles. For the marathon, for the women's marathon in Olympics in Brazil?
Yeah, Brazil.
Okay, all right. And so do you think, how old are you?
I'm 28.
28. So with this, are you in your prime here, or could it be a couple years later that you could, because marathoners typically can go a little longer, right?
Yeah, women marathoners seem to peak in their early 30s. So I'm right about entering my prime now.
Okay, so this is not your only shot.
No, I tried out in 2012 and I did really well. I placed 7th against the best field there's ever been.
7th in the qualifying race.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I ended up being an alternate for the Olympic team, filling out all the Olympic papers, which was really exciting and got me believing a little bit more that I could do it the next time around. So here I am again, and there will be another chance after this. So
yeah. That's great. Now, you're from Doddridge, or you grew up in Doddridge County.
Yes.
And a lot is being made of growing up. You're living out in the sticks like I grew up, out in the country in Doddridge County, right? Right. And you were homeschooled?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Homeschooled until 5th grade.
Until 5th grade?
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you start running?
I started competitive running in 7th grade in track. And really who got me thinking about it was my gym teacher. He was the cross-country coach, and he saw me running the mile around the gym for the presidential fitness test. And I took it really seriously, and I wanted to beat everyone. And I wasn't trained at all, but I ran one of the best times in the school, and it wasn't that fast, but he saw something that could be developed. So he sat me down and said, you should try out for cross-country and track. I liked it. I mean, I loved running. It's simple enough that it was something I could do in the country. I've had watched the Olympics from an early age and loved the inspiring stories and just the toughness and the grit of the athletes that competed. I always remember Carrie Strug, the gymnast that completed her routine on one ankle. Or
got
one
carried
foot
off by
her
by her trainer. Yeah.
So
but I know you've been
Mhm.
asked this 100 times, but everybody says the same thing. Oh, but she's just a sweet, nice person. She's soft spoken. She's smiling all the time. But then they say, but you're a pit bull.
Yeah. People say, I mean,
They
I've
don't
been
want to
called
cross
that.
you, right? I mean,
right. I mean,
what is it?
It's something inside of me that just has this desire to get the best out of myself. And I believe everyone has a talent, has something they're here for. So, and I always searched for that, and running became something where I could always find improvement in myself, and it's always made me a better person and brought me along.
Have you ever gotten close to giving up competitive running?
There's been a few hard times where,
What happened?
it's been tough. I've been injured,
Which is going to happen.
It's going to happen, and then I've been, my sponsors have changed, which is that's a hard time when you're in between sponsors not really being supported, and you're thinking, how am I supposed to support myself
Right.
and make a living? And running, you can make a living off of running, but it's very.
It's not.
It's
you
not
did
very
not.
stable.
You did not arrive by a limousine today, right?
Right.
Right. Clara Santucci is with us. She's a two-time Pittsburgh Marathon champion. She's going to be at the Olympic trials in Los Angeles. And there is a great video about you and your training, which is at premlal.com.
Right.
Premlal.com tells your story. And also Prem Lal, I believe, is contributing $2,500 to your training. Is that correct?
They're going to match.
They're going to match whatever the contributions are? Yeah.
Uh,
So you can go to premwall.com and find out how to contribute to support your ongoing training, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Plus, it's a really good video. What did you think when you saw the video?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I almost cried.
That's a great story about that young woman.
No, it's really neat to see it all put together, all the things I've done over the years and how it's developed. And you really just look at it day by day and don't really get to see it all put together like that. So I'm really thankful for the guys at Pikewood Creative that put it together.
Yeah, Pikewood did it, Dan Lohman and that crew. It's at premlal.com. I think Tony tweeted out, Tony Creedy, who's involved now, tweeted out as well, premlal.com to see that. And also you can see where you can make contributions to support her training for the qualification. So injuries are a big part. Have you been hurt lately?
Not lately, no. So that's good. I'm a pretty durable runner. So I've been running for since 7th grade. So I'm 28 now. So it's been a few years. But I've only had 2 major injuries, 2 at the same time. Yeah, I've had a couple major injuries, and that's pretty good for an elite distance runner that's running around 120 miles a week. So
that's what you're doing now in training, about 120.
Yeah.
I understand you're not a speed demon.
No,
you're more of a grinder.
I don't have the natural speed. I'm the grinder. I'm like the train. Gets going and then keeps going.
You got to have that. Has to affect clearly your strategy, because if you're a grinder, then you can't expect to outkick, can you, at the end, or can you if you've worn them down? What's the strategy?
Right. Well, in a marathon, that's what I really like about it, and that's why it's such a good event for me. It's not really about being fast in the end. It's about being able to run at the end, and people really fall apart at the end. And if you can at least maintain, it actually looks like you're kicking. So if you're actually just maintaining the pace you started out at, it looks like you're just dropping people left and right. Yeah. So
what do you have any mental exercises you go through as you are in the race, because at different stages your body is different things are happening? What are the mental exercises you use in a race?
Yeah, there's running has a huge mental aspect to it, especially in the marathon. When your body is breaking down, I start thinking about just like all the reasons why I'm out there, what I want it for, and how long it's going to hurt, and how short that pain can be compared to the reward at the end. Yeah. So it's a lot of self-talk and self-motivation you go through at the end, and just sometimes it's just, my legs haven't fallen out from underneath of me, so I'm okay. So keep going.
Last mile or two in a marathon, would you rather have the lead, but be looking back at somebody gaining, or be behind that person trying to catch?
I don't know. I've had it both ways. Actually, Pittsburgh Marathon that I've run twice has happened both of those ways. And I think both were equally exciting. So really, I think more than anything, I would probably want to be catching, but more than anything, I would just want to feel like I had something more to give.
Left.
Yeah. So
do you know what your limit is?
I don't know what my limit is yet. No, I mean, I don't think I've truly hit the wall in a marathon.
Really?
I've fallen off pace, but I guess when they say you hit the wall, you go from running a 5-something mile to like a 7-something mile, and I've dropped off maybe 20 seconds. So I don't know if I want to find that wall. I want to calculate it perfectly so that I find that wall right at the finish line.
Yeah.
So.
Gosh. Well, are you enjoying all this, or do you feel the stress of it?
I enjoy it. I love it. This is what I've always wanted to do. It's really a dream.
But everybody's watching you now. I mean, we're putting more pressure on you now.
Right.
You know?
But I appreciate the support, and it makes me want to do it for more than just myself, especially if I have more people out there cheering for me. And that's a motivator for me. So it's not pressure. It's something to do it for. It just gives it more reason and more purpose. If
people want to support, and by the way, will you train the entire time here, or can you get to an Olympic training location if you qualify? If
I qualify for the Olympics, I can go other places. I can go to the Olympic Training Center. I think there's 2. There's one in Colorado and one in California. Mm-hmm. Or I could go somewhere else, like a huge running mecca, where there's like in Arizona. Flagstaff, Arizona is a huge one because it's at altitude.
Sure. Right.
And that's a benefit that I've never really cashed in on. So.
And right now you're just running like Grand Avenue and Charles Avenue, running the hills in Morgantown.
Yeah, so the hills are my altitude. The humidity in the summer, they say it's the poor man's altitude. So, we've got good tough conditions here that make a runner tougher, and that's always a good thing.